Hello and welcome to this nighttime taste challenge. This overnight taste challenge. It's too early for dawn busters. This is 10. I'll go walking, but it's so cold right now. I'm gonna wait. This is 10 high sour mash, America's native spirit. Now, if you read real carefully at the bottom, it says bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. Oh, now it says established 1879. No, it was introduced in 1934. Hiram Walker was established in 1879, and Hiram Walker Whiskey Company is the liquor company, distilling company. I meant to say Hiram Walker Distilling. They're the people that introduced this. Then it got sold to Barton Brands, and it's still a Barton brand, but Barton is owned by Sazerac, okay, since 2009. Okay, so that's bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. Oh, yay. 80 proof, no age statement. So we know it's at least 4 years old. Here's Jim Beam Black. Kentucky bourbon whiskey, age 8 years. Also sour mash. Introduced in 1992. Was replaced in 2015 by the new Jim Beam Black Extra Age. Okay, so it's not in production anymore. I found this old bottle at International Market and I got it for $32.99. They still have some bottles left, although I think it's $2 more now. And they have the regular size. If you don't want to buy a big bottle like this, they do have the regular size Jim Beam Black 8 year for I believe it's $17.99. I do plan to buy the Jim Beam Extra, hopefully sooner than later, but sooner might be 10 years from now. If you look at my bourbon backstock, you'll see why, but it would be kind of nice to get to it in my lifetime. All right. It's very dark, copper. This one's going to be lighter. It's got no flavoring, no coloring. Straight bourbon is not allowed to have any flavoring or coloring added. Actually, regular bourbon's not supposed to have flavoring or coloring added, but they get around that by saying, oh, it's a distilled spirit specialty. That's what they'll say. They'll say it's not technically bourbon. It's bourbon with natural flavors. It's a joke. I mean, the whole thing is silly, right? But because the U.S. government says you can't have bourbon with flavoring where there's bourbon with flavoring, so you obviously can have it. All right, I poured too much, so we just have to work around that. Sorry, I forgot about these built-in pourers. They tend to let too much in. Let me see if I can get that funnel. I could do that, couldn't I? All right. That's why I bought the funnel. And then I end up having a funnel anyway. Okay. Because I really don't need. I don't need it. I don't need bourbon at all, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want to waste it. All right. That'll work. Plus, I'm in no rush to waste the stuff. I have enough left for, 7 or 8 taste challenges, I suppose. This is lighter. Now, I didn't say anything about coloring yet. In Sazerac, Barton, Sazerac, they're usually pretty good about telling you if they have coloring added. It'll say with caramel color. It doesn't say that. So I'm thinking that's the natural color after 4 years or more in the barrel. And we got that flavoring thing going on. So this should not really be a challenge in any real sense of the word. It's called a taste challenge, but it shouldn't be a challenge. Now, this Jim Beam Black hasn't exactly stood out. I mean, I've gotten it confused 3 times with other bourbons, but they're kind of in the same price range. So you might say, well, whoever said Jim Beam 8-year was a standout, it's just ordinary stuff. And maybe that's true, but I mean, it is 8-year instead of the regular 4. So I've gotten it confused 3 times. I don't feel good about it, but I'm just saying that's probably the bourbon. It's not that special. Okay. But I only paid $32.99 for the whole handle. So that would be indicative of that reality. Smells like sweet corn. Yeah, all right. Right. Sweet corn, bourbon, a little barrel charred oak. Now this smells like sweet popcorn. You know that popcorn is like sweet, not salty, with the caramel, I guess. Like Fiddle Faddle or something. Or Crunch and Munch. Of course, that got peanuts in it, right? Those things, but this must be the one with the flavoring. But yeah, so this has got a much deeper char. So I'm thinking in my head, because that's, well, where else would I be thinking? Okay, so kind of redundant, right? I have to pass. I forgot I need to go to the Office of Redundancy office later on. So cheers, taste. There's no way that's 10 high. That's the Jim Beam Black. I can tell by the color. I don't even have to look at the label, but I mean, I will to be correct. But yeah. Who in the world would confuse the two? The answer, no one. No one on earth would ever confuse these two. Price difference. 10 high is $16.99. Well, that's what I paid for it. Might have gone up, but yeah, it was $16.99. Beautiful plastic. You can get glass bottles, smaller bottles, liters and 750s. I like that little matte finish on it label. It's like a little fine sandpaper, like they do in Stedman Select, which is coming into the challenges. Now that could be a real challenge. Okay, and there's the new Stedman Select, which I haven't purchased, but it is $9.99. I am sort of tempted to buy just because it's $9.99, and you never know if it could go away or something. Maybe Walmart's not selling it like mad, but it does make you wonder, huh? That's a 4-year age Kentucky Straight, and I believe they jumped it to 90 proof. It used to be 86. Yeah, I might have to look into that, because then later on you regret, like, it was only $9.99. It's not like you paid a lot. Why do you think you bought all those other ones? They were 10. Yeah, that's something to think about. course, you might say, but then you got a whole collection of stuff that you bought cheap and it's probably not that good. Oh yeah, it's probably a lot better than the price. What really comes out, what really happens, it turns out to be a lot better than what you paid for it when you get these super discounts. There's exceptions where something's really rank, but I haven't run across that. Okay, so what do we say about 10 High? Not much. It's smooth, pleasant, easygoing, mellow, mild, simple, very simple. Kind of like the Royal, same kind of thing from Heaven Hill, Royal bourbon, bourbon with natural flavor. Flavor one. This is flavors plural. Just basic, fine. You could taste the wood. There is a little vanilla thing going on, and I think it's not vanilla from the oak. I think it's vanilla from vanilla. Yeah. If your attitude is, well, look, I just want something basic. I don't want to pay a lot. Just went through Christmas and I bought a bunch of stuff, and I really don't need to be buying. But I would like to have a little bourbon around the house, something easy going, and you might think $16.99 for a handle, that could really work, and it could. It's fine. You're probably not expecting a whole lot when you buy it for that price, and you're not going to get a whole lot. The benefit is that you're not getting anything offensive. You see, that's the goodness of it. It's just kind of there. Now it does sell. I mean, Walmart's always got it stocked. Bethurns has it in stock. I think Total Wine's got it. I don't know how well it sells there, but around here, it's a hot, pretty hot commodity. Now, see, they don't have it. I find that strange. Although I find that some Total Wine's website's been working kind of strange lately. Like you search for stuff, won't pick it up. They just might not carry it. Might not have a sold over there. Well, here it is. Oh, 10 High Sour Mash. Seemed like it would have picked up 10 High though. So what are they saying about it? They're showing a 750 bottle. 7.99. They're saying a quality sour mash whiskey that maintains a wealth of tradition and craftsmanship. I don't know about all that. A quality sour mash whiskey, I would call it a tolerably quality sour mash whiskey, carefully distilled and matured in white oak barrels. Yeah. Barton Distilling, probably carefully distilled to, an extent to create a smooth, distinctive bourbon. Smooth, yeah, distinctive. Tell me how that is distinctive. How is this distinctive? A.Z. Boozman of Phoenix, Arizona, a month ago gives it 4 out of 5 stars, calls it an incredible value. Great as a mixer for bourbon and Coke. One of the few bourbons my palate picks up distinctive tasting noted. That doesn't make sense. He doesn't explain what that means. Picked up distinctive tasting noted. That's He says it's crap. They cut it with grain neutral alcohol. No, actually, this is not cut with grain neutral spirits. There's no. So that customer's wrong. He's thinking of the previous 10 High that was out for about 10 years called 10 High Blended Bourbon, which was an 80-20 blend. You see, there's no statement about grain spirits, and therefore it cannot have that. I was carefully reading those regulations about labeling requirements. Can you make a blended bourbon and use grain spirits? Yeah, you can up to 49%. Sorry, 49%, not 80-20. That'd be blended whiskey. It has to be 51% straight bourbon, at least, or more, but at least. But it has to have the disclosure on the bottle. It's not an option. That's a requirement. So Could have been that the person got an older bottle and put it on this review. Yeah, that's possible because they got a lot of those old tin high blended bourbon bottles still lingering around. So that's probably what happened. He just looked at the bottle. He might have wondered why it was different label with a man on it instead of the eagle, but that would be your answer. I used to wonder that too, and then I realized what was going on. So what did they say about it? Same thing as same thing as Total Wine's website. So obviously they got this from Sazerac, a quality sour mash whiskey that maintains a wealth of tradition and craftsmanship. Dot dot dot. Yeah. Specifications: straight whiskey. No, Walmart is wrong. It is not a straight whiskey because it has natural flavor added. So that's wrong. I find a lot of errors on Walmart's website. But anyway, manufacturer Sazerac company. That's correct. Ingredients: grain, yes, and some flavoring. Gets 4.5 out of 5 stars on Walmart's website. Somebody says nice and smooth. Mm. Must have changed something redistilling. I recall it being pretty awful stuff now. Not too bad. Certainly not Maker's Mark, but good enough for old fashions. Somebody wrote. Yeah, they did change it actually. That's the person noticed that. My friend David thought that the new version is better than the older one. He also thought that. Stedman Select 2348. For the handle, and I'm not buying the handle. See, they're only showing the handle, but I know they got the 750s. I was just at Walmart. I know there's no way. Well, Christmas, maybe there's a way, but I'm pretty sure there's no way they sold out of that Stedman Select. However, at $9.99, people might have bought it all just to have something. But I'm going to go check over there because I got to go to Walmart anyway, get some beer, get some more Milwaukee's Best Light, 30 pack. So final result, the Jim Beam Black was clearly much better. And you can't confuse them. Okay, so no contest. Now, I'll just go through the Sazerac brands that I've got. Like I said, Stedman Select, the original Stedman Select, which has been replaced. Unless they're going to be companion bourbons, original Stedman Select with the Barton 1792 Stedman Select. Now, it could be that they're going to have companions on the shelf. And then I've got Ancient Age, 90 proof, but the 3-year age version. I know there's a 6-year age, but I didn't see that. And I've got Jethro T. Boots, another Kentucky straight bourbon from Buffalo Trace, but it's made for CVS Pharmacy only. It even has a sticker on the back that you can't pull off. And it says this bottle should be sold only at CVS Pharmacy. If you see it elsewhere, please call this number. Now, I don't know who in the world would do that, but you have some people that like to report other people. But what they're emphasizing is that if you see it at a store that's not CVS Pharmacy, somebody did something illicit and actually illegal. But anyway, there's another Sazerac I've got, and I can't remember what it is. And then, or maybe I'm wrong. And then we got George Dickel, the famous 12-year, the number 12 Superior since 1964. So that's good. And then I've got this curiosity piece, the George Dickel Cascade Hollow, 3-year age Tennessee whiskey, straight bourbon, sour mash, but they call it Tennessee whiskey. That's an oddity. That's a conversation piece because they only made it for a few years, and they don't make it anymore, and they probably never make it again. But we could be wrong. The red label. If you ever find George Dickel in a red label and it says Cascade Hollow, buy it because that is out of production. That's a rarity. And I found that liter bottle, you heard me right, liter bottle at the legendary Discount Depot in Marrero, Louisiana for $7.99. And I was so excited. I bought a second bottle, gave it to my friend David. he was just in love with that stuff. And I said, "Oh, how did the guys at the hot rod shop like it?" He said, "It's gone." He said, "Didn't make it through the weekend, or didn't make it to the next week." I said, "Uh-huh." So they gobbled it up. Okay, now y'all take care, and see for Friday. It'll be that ancient age 10 star 90 proof 3-year age introduced in 1936. Even though Sazerac says 1946, but I got proof that they're wrong by 10 years. And that is going to be a challenge because even though it's a much younger bourbon, it's got the proof to back it up, 90, and it's just a really good product. So thank you, Buffalo Trace, for that. All right, bye bye, everybody.